When your eyes close, what does your soul really see? Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, tried to warn us. Today, we will unveil the hidden mysteries of those nightly journeys. Beyond ancient wisdom, there is a spiritual enlightenment awaiting you. This is not just a video. It is a key to the esoteric universe that your being travels through every night. We will explore subtle separation, the enigma of the silver cord, and how inner alchemy brews on ethereal planes. You will learn to protect yourself from the invisible, to master lucid dreaming, and how current cosmic energy amplifies every journey, even truths kept in forbidden texts. If you are ready to transform your understanding, leave a like, share this knowledge, and subscribe to continue this profound revelation. When the mortal body surrenders to rest, a process begins that is much deeper than simple physiological rest. What for materialistic science is a mere cessation of conscious activity, for ancient wisdom is the gateway to an existential odyssey. Your consciousness, that immutable core of your being, does not dissolve. On the contrary, it detaches itself from its dense vehicle, the physical body, to embark on a journey through dimensions that escape ordinary perception. This doubling, often involuntary and subconscious, is an act of pure inner alchemy, where the spirit is purified and expands beyond earthly limitations. The veil that tears each night reveals a complex architecture of reality, composed of vibrational planes that your soul navigates with a forgotten familiarity. The first step in this journey is the transfer of your consciousness to a more subtle vehicle, known in many esoteric traditions as the etheric body or etheric double. This is the energetic counterpart to your physical form, the vital mold that sustains your existence. During sleep, consciousness operates primarily from this body, although still connected to the physical body by a luminous filament of indescribable beauty and fragility, the silver cord. This bond is the anchor, the safety line that prevents the divine spark from completely disconnecting from its earthly vessel, guaranteeing its return upon awakening. If this cord is broken, physical life ceases, freeing the spirit completely. The ancient Egyptians, in their forbidden texts and funerary rituals, already understood the vitality of this connection, depicting it in hieroglyphics that we barely perceive today, leaving clues in secret chambers and hidden scrolls of their true wisdom got beyond the physical etheric plane, which resonates with our vital functions and the energy of life itself, lies the vast and enigmatic intermediate astral plane. Think of it as an ocean of emotions, desires, and thought forms, both individual and collective. Here, dreams take vivid and often symbolic forms, revealing the inner truths and conflicts that the day represses. It is a mutable realm where the manifestation of will and thought is almost instantaneous. Those who consciously travel through the astral, whether through lucid dreaming or deliberate astral projection, encounter dreamscapes that can be paradisiacal or, conversely, nightmarish. Scenarios, a reflection of the prevailing vibrations. The entities that inhabit it are as diverse as the stars, from spirit guides and beings of light seeking to impart knowledge, to elementals and, sadly, also energetic remnants of base human passions, the so-called astral larvae who feed on negativity. This plane is a crucible of experiences where traumas are processed, subconscious emotional conflicts are resolved, and at times, invaluable guidance is received. But to navigate its hidden mysteries with confidence and discernment requires a purity of intention and a firmness of mind that few consciously cultivate. It is in this intermediate space that cosmic energy filters into our reality, coloring it with the imprints of humanity's dominant emotions and thoughts. It is a mirror, an amplified reflection of our own psyche, where the seeds of our inner alchemy begin to germinate, transforming the dense into the subtle. However, the journey doesn't end there. Above the astral plane lies the higher mental plane, often interconnected with what in some traditions is known as the Akashic Records. This is the realm of pure ideas, universal wisdom, and divine archetypes. Here, the mind operates not with earthly linear logic, but through intuitive understanding and holistic vision, transcending the barriers of time and space. Accessing this plane during sleep is an achievement for most, reserved for those who have significantly advanced in their spiritual enlightenment and refined their inner alchemy through years of discipline, deep meditation, and the tireless search for truth. In the Akashic Records, it is said that every experience, every thought, every emotion of every being that has ever existed or will ever exist is recorded, not only on Earth, but throughout the entire cosmos. It is the cosmic library of the universe, where the true ancient wisdom about the purpose of life, the destiny of the soul, and the laws governing the creation and dissolution of worlds are found. Prophets, visionaries, and great masters of humanity have accessed fragments of this vast library, translating its revelations into teachings that have often been misinterpreted, diluted over the centuries, or worse, deliberately suppressed, becoming the so-called forbidden texts that orthodoxy has sought to erase from the collective memory, fearing the power of unfiltered knowledge. Cosmic energy flows here in its purest form, informing existence itself. It is the inexhaustible source of all manifestation. Understanding these planes is not an empty intellectual exercise. It is the key to unlocking the latent potential of your own consciousness and understanding the true nature of your immortal being. The quality of your nightly journeys, the lucidity of your dreams, the depth of the revelations you receive, all are directly related to the vibration of your subtle bodies and the purity of your intention. By raising your waking consciousness, you facilitate these nightly journeys, transforming them from mere subconscious wanderings into deliberate expeditions of self-discovery and learning. The cosmic energy that flows ceaselessly through these planes offers you the opportunity to heal, learn, and evolve even while your physical body rests, transcending the limitations of linear spacetime. But what happens when the memory of these journeys fades upon waking, leaving us with only a distant echo or a sense of unreality? Is it a natural forgetting, a protection for our fragile daytime mind, or a barrier imposed by forces that do not wish us to remember our true capacity? And if we can travel so far and access so much information and experience, are there entities that can also travel to us, or even influence our dreams and the veil between worlds? Ah, the questions that echo on the threshold of awakening. If memory fades, if the veil is thick, is it perhaps due to intrinsic protection or veiled manipulation? In this labyrinth of consciousness, the thread that connects the ethereal to the earthly is the most vital and often the most misunderstood link, the silver cord, a notion rooted in ancient wisdom and its hidden mysteries. It describes the energetic nexus, the luminous thread that unites the soul or astral body with its physical counterpart. Think of it as a luminous anchor, a cosmic umbilical cord that, as long as it remains intact, guarantees the traveler's safe return to their bodily bed. Its vibrational nature makes it almost undetectable to the physical senses, but it is as real as the breath you take, a constant stream of cosmic energy pulsing between worlds. This cord is not a mere poetic fantasy. It is a vibrational reality, described in various forbidden texts and esoteric traditions throughout the millennia. It is the artery through which cosmic energy flows, nourishing the physical body with the vitality of the higher essence, even when it ventures into the astral planes. The ancient Egyptians, in their complex funerary rituals and their knowledge of the Ka and the Na, understood the importance of this connection. For them, the Cayce, the etheric double or soul, could separate from the body, but always remained, connected by an invisible bond that allowed them to return. Their writings in the pyramid texts and the Book of the Dead, although veiled, constantly allude to the need to maintain this connection intact for survival in the afterlife and the Cayce, cyclical return of the soul. Similarly, in Tibetan Buddhism, teachings about the bardo, the intermediate state between death and rebirth, hint at the delicate transition when this chord phrase, a phase where consciousness separates from the physical vessel irreversibly. Even Ecclesiastes, in its biblical wisdom, alludes to it with a powerful and enigmatic image before the silver thread snaps and the golden bowl shatters. This phrase, shrouded in veils of mysticism, has been interpreted by generations of mystics and seekers of ancient wisdom as a direct reference to the interruption of physical life, the cessation of the flow of life that binds consciousness to its corporeal vessel, an unequivocal sign of the end of earthly existence. This recurrence in different cultures and eras is not a coincidence, but an echo of a primordial knowledge, one of the hidden mysteries that have been passed down by word of mouth, from initiation to initiation. During a conscious astral journey, this cord extends, stretching to distances the linear mind can barely conceive. It can traverse dimensions, travel through time and space, all the while maintaining that umbilical connection with the physical body. It is the point of return, Ariadne's thread in the labyrinth of multidimensional existence. Its existence is the guarantee that, no matter how far you venture, the gravity of your own body, the resonance of your own essence, will draw you back. The spiritual enlightenment that emerges from these journeys, the inner alchemy that operates within the being when confronted with the vastness of the universe, depends entirely on the security and robustness of this bond. Some seers describe it as a beam of pulsating silver light, others as a luminous nebula extending from the navel or forehead of the physical body to the astral body. Its thickness and brilliance can vary depending on the individual's vitality and the depth of their spiritual connection. A thick, shiny cord indicates a strong connection, robust energetic health, and greater ease with projection and remembering. But what happens if this cord is damaged, or, worse yet, broken? Herein lie many of the hidden mysteries and unfounded fears that have surrounded the concept of astral projection. In most cases, the silver cord is incredibly elastic and resilient. Accidental severing during conscious astral travel is an almost absolute impossibility, as the cord only breaks at the final moment of physical death, when its purpose is no longer necessary. It is the biological and spiritual mechanism that signals the end of the soul's stay in that particular body. However, it can be weakened or strained by experiences of extreme trauma, paralyzing fear, severe emotional shock, prolonged exposure to negative energies, or even by an abrupt and disharmonious return to the physical body. A weakened cord can manifest as a feeling of chronic disorientation, difficulty fully grounding oneself in the present, unexplained chronic fatigue, apathy, a vague sense of disconnection from one's body or surrounding reality, and even memory or concentration problems. It's as if the signal between the soul and the body isn't strong enough, resulting in brain fog or an inability to fully integrate spiritual experiences. Physical vitality suffers, and the person may feel like an automaton, devoid of the spark of life. To mitigate these effects and strengthen this vital bond, the traditions of ancient wisdom offer paths through inner alchemy. This involves practices such as deep meditation to center consciousness, the cultivation of peace of mind, the purification of the energy field through conscious diet and breathing exercises, pranayama, and the visualization of cosmic energy flowing through the cord, strengthening and repairing it. Ritualists skilled in the forbidden texts also speak of the importance of pure intention and unconditional love as the greatest protectors of this sacred bond. Restoring the individual's vibrational integrity not only allows for greater flow of vital energy, but also facilitates a deeper and more lucid connection with the higher self, enhancing spiritual enlightenment. The notion that evil entities can cut this cord at will is one of those hidden mysteries that fuel fear, but rarely, corresponds to the reality of esoteric wisdom. These influences may cause disturbances, generate fear, or attempt to disorient the astral traveler. They may even attempt to deceive or trap the soul on lower planes, but they can rarely break the vital bond, which is inherently protected by higher cosmic laws. The real danger lies in the individual's own fear, which may cause them to withdraw their energy or voluntarily disconnect from the experience, forcing a hasty return that can create a small fissure in the connection, a kind of momentary burn from energetic friction. This fissure may take time to heal, leaving the individual vulnerable to energy leaks or a feeling of being out of sync. Spiritual enlightenment, then, is not just about traveling far, but about returning with one's consciousness intact, integrating the revelations and strengthening the union between the physical self and the higher self. It is a round-trip journey, always with the purpose of integration. But if this cord is the thread that ties us to this existence and allows us to return, what about the invisible threads that bind us to the illusions of this reality, or to the memories of past lives that still resonate in our being? Is there another kind of cord, one that unites us not only to our body and our current life, but to the very fabric of destiny and the karmic inheritance of our soul through countless existences? The journey has only just begun, and each revelation opens us to new and disturbing questions. It is precisely in these interstices, in the fissures of our consciousness, that the veils thin and that which lurks in the subtle realms can sense our presence. During sleep, when the soul undertakes its journeys or simply rests and recharges, the physical body and its energy field become particularly permeable. It is a time of profound vulnerability and at the same time of immense opportunity for spiritual enlightenment. However, this permeability is a double-edged sword. There are, indeed, entities that ancient wisdom and forbidden texts have documented over eons, the so-called astral parasites and energy vampires. They are not ghosts in the popular sense, but low vibrational beings, mere shadows of existence, who feed on our vitality, on our emotions of fear, anxiety, or despair. They attach themselves to our auric field like invisible limpets, extracting our cosmic energy drop by drop, leaving a trail of fatigue, disorientation, and an inexplicable existential heaviness. The signs of its incursion are subtle, often mistaken for daily stress or exhaustion, waking up more tired than when you went to bed, as if the night had been a laborious endeavor rather than a balm. Recurring nightmares of being chased, suffocated, or sensations of immobility and tightness in the chest, which go beyond simple bad dreams and feel strangely real and visceral. Unjustified irritability at dawn, a mental fog that doesn't dissipate, with coffee or the feeling that one's life energy has been sucked dry, leaving a void, a hole in the chest or solar plexus. Sometimes they can manifest as wandering body aches, ringing in the ears, sudden chills with no apparent cause, or even the perception of furtive shadows in the periphery of one's vision upon waking. These are the echoes of a battle waged on a plane most of humanity ignores. It is the whisper of the hidden mysteries, revealing an uncomfortable truth. We are not alone in the night, and not everything around us seeks our good. Fortunately, the same ancestral wisdom that alerted us to these entities also bequeathed us an arsenal of techniques for protection and purification. The first line of defense is the energetic cleansing of our sacred space, the bedroom. The sacred smoke of white sage or palo santo, used in purification rituals by shamans and indigenous peoples since time immemorial, not only cleanses the air, but also raises the vibration of the environment, making it inhospitable to low-frequency entities. Visualize how the smoke dissipates darkness and stagnation, leaving a trail of light and clarity. Coarse sea salt, scattered in the corners of the room or in a small bowl under the bed, acts as a powerful absorber of negative energies. The vibrational sound of a Tibetan singing bowl or wind chimes can break up stagnant energy patterns, restoring vibrational harmony. Each element is a key to unlocking the innate power of our environment, transforming it into an impenetrable sanctuary beyond physical space. Our own energy is the most formidable shield. Certain crystals act as silent sentinels, amplifying our own cosmic energy and deflecting unwanted influences. Black tourmaline, a grounding stone, is a potent anchor, known for its ability to absorb and transmute negative energy before it, can penetrate our auric field. Placed near the bed or worn as a talisman, it creates a protective barrier. Amethyst, with its serene vibration, not only induces peaceful dreams, but also protects the psyche from attack, transmuting fear into peace. Obsidian, a volcanic gem, acts as a psychic mirror, reflecting back any attempts at manipulation or energy vampirism. These stones are not passive amulets. They are vibrational tools that attune us to protective frequencies, reminding us of the interconnectedness between matter and spirit. Personal purification is an act of profound inner alchemy. Before sleeping, visualize a sphere of white, gold, or violet light emanating from your heart, slowly expanding until it envelops your entire body, sealing any cracks in your aura. Imagine this light as an impenetrable shield that repels all that is not love and light. Perform a brief grounding meditation, visualizing roots growing from your feet and sinking deep into the earth, discharging any dense or stressful energy accumulated during the day. Intention is key. Declare your space as sacred and your being as inviolable. These seemingly simple practices are expressions of the sovereign will of the Spirit, a reminder that we are the architects of our own energetic reality. Asterisk spiritual. Enlightenment asterisk is not just a state of ecstasy. It is also self-mastery, the ability to discern and protect oneself from the shadows. Awakening to these truths is the first step toward regaining control over our own vitality. And the path of consciousness leads us to ask, how do these shadows relate to the karmic threads that bind us to certain repetitions, or to the emotional patterns we believe to be our own, but which are perhaps inherited from older lineages? If karmic patterns and ancestral legacies nestle in our psyche, manifesting throughout the day, where better to explore and reconfigure them than on the limitless canvas of sleep? I'm not talking about common dreams, fleeting images that vanish at dawn, but about a deeper state, a sanctuary where consciousness doesn't sleep, but expands, lucid dreaming. It is the portal to a parallel reality, a bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, where one becomes the simultaneous architect and explorer of one's own dream universe. Imagine a moment when, amidst the maelstrom of the unreal, a spark of lucidity ignites the night. Suddenly, gravity is a suggestion. Walls dissolve with a thought, and landscapes mutate at will. This is the essence of lucid dreaming, being fully aware that you are dreaming, and with that awareness, the ability to influence and shape the experience. The benefits of this conscious nocturnal navigation transcend mere curiosity. It is, and no, extremely potent form of inner alchemy, transforming the lid of subconscious limitations into the gold of self-mastery. In this space, one can confront deep-rooted fears, practice skills, solve complex problems that the daytime intellect cannot, reach or even seek guidance from archetypes or higher beings. It is a personal laboratory for spiritual enlightenment, where the deepest truths of being are revealed without the filters of ordinary perception. One can fly, breathe underwater, travel to unimaginable places, or even encounter forgotten aspects of oneself or guides waiting in the ethereal realms, offering ancient wisdom that transcends time and space. But how do you open this door? The key lies in intention and persistence. The first fundamental technique is dream recall. Keep a dream journal by your bed. Upon waking, Before moving or fully opening your eyes, try to recall and write down as much of it as you can, however fragmented. This trains the mind to value and retain dream information, creating a neural pathway to the subconscious. Each time you record a dream, affirm your intention to become lucid in the next one. The second essential practice is reality checks. Several times throughout the day, ask yourself, "Am I dreaming right now?" And then perform a short test. Try pushing a finger through the palm of your other hand, or look at some text, look away, and reread it to see if it changes. Try flying a little or jumping to see if gravity responds differently. If the real world responds predictably, you're awake. But if it does the opposite, if your finger passes through your hand or the text changes, you'll know you're dreaming. Repeating this question and test while awake conditions your mind to perform it in sleep as well, where the laws of physics are malleable. It's in that moment of recognition, of I'm dreaming, that lucidity is ignited for the more adventurous. There are techniques like mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, or mild, which involves waking up after a few hours of sleep, recalling a recent dream, and then going back to sleep with the clear intention of recognizing when you're dreaming again. There's also wilds, wake-induced lucid dreams, where one attempts to maintain consciousness while falling asleep, navigating hypnagogic states, those visions and sensations that precede sleep until transitioning directly into lucid dreaming. The latter require more practice and patience, but offer a direct and vivid entry. Once in lucid dreaming, stability is crucial. The initial excitement can be so overwhelming that it wakes you up. To ground yourself, rub your hands together, observe. Details spin around or demand clarity from your surroundings. More lucidity and stabilize are powerful verbal anchors. Don't fear the darkness or unexpected figures. They are projections of your own psyche or the collective unconscious. And in this space, you are sovereign. Ancient shamans, mystics, and adepts of ancestral wisdom viewed sleep not as a mere pause from reality, but as another dimension of existence. Forbidden texts and oral traditions often describe these nocturnal journeys as astral travel, where the soul partially detaches itself from the physical body to explore other realms of cosmic energy. Lucid dreaming is, in essence, a conscious and controlled form of this doubling, a tool for accessing hidden mysteries and an expanded perception of reality. By mastering lucid dreaming, not only is your nighttime experience transformed, but your relationship with reality itself is reconfigured. You understand that reality is not as solid as it seems, that consciousness is the true foundation of everything. And this understanding inevitably leads us to question the veils of existence, not only in sleep, but also in waking life. If we can shape our dreams with our will, what limits are there to our ability to shape our conscious reality? This question resonates with an even deeper truth, one that challenges the very structure of what we consider real, preparing us for the revelations that await beyond the borders of time and three-dimensional space. The question that resonated at the end of our last meeting, that inquiry into the limits of our capacity to shape conscious reality, is not a mere philosophical conjecture. It is the key, the threshold to an inescapable truth to which humanity as a whole is beginning to awaken. We are, at this precise moment in planetary history, in the midst of an unprecedented transformation, a vibrational rise that is not limited to a select few, but is a collective call to a new phase of existence. The Earth itself, in its intrinsic wisdom, is raising its frequency, and with it, every living being that inhabits it is invited to tune into this new resonance. This change is not random. It has been prophesied in the most ancient scriptures and transmitted through the ancestral wisdom of cultures that understood the cosmic cycles long before our technological age. The Druids, Egyptian priests, Mayan sages, and Tibetan monks, in their forbidden texts or veiled knowledge, described a time when the veils between dimensions would thin, when cosmic energy would flow with unprecedented intensity, exposing both the sublime and the latent within the human and planetary psyche. What we observe today, the rising tide of anxiety, extreme polarization, but also the blossoming of empathy, the search for meaning, and the longing for deeper connection, are symptoms of this great cosmic birth. We perceive an acceleration of time, an intensification of experiences, and an emergence of talents and sensibilities that previously remained dormant or were considered abnormal. Intuition is heightened, synchronicities abound, but so do energetic confrontations, subtle psychic attacks, and the feeling of being drained by other people's emotions. As collective consciousness expands, individual sensitivity to energetic interactions magnifies exponentially. It is no longer possible to ignore subtle vibrations, the emotions of others, the atmosphere of a place, or the resonance of certain thoughts. Those who previously remained oblivious to these influences now perceive them with overwhelming clarity, often without the preparation or tools to process them. This hypersensitivity, while a sign of evolution, can also become a burden if not managed with discernment. It is as if the volume of the universe has been turned up, and suddenly we hear every whisper and every cry, every harmony and every dissonance in the vast chorus of existence. Herein lies the crucial importance of spiritual protection. We are not talking about amulets or external rituals to deflect supposed bad vibes, although these may play a symbolic role for some. We are talking about internal fortification, an inner alchemy that transmutes vulnerability into resilience, fear into discernment, and confusion into clarity. In this era of accelerated energetic flow, where the hidden mysteries of our own nature and the cosmos are revealed with greater urgency, the mind becomes a battlefield if it is not anchored in the truth of its own sovereignty. Without a conscious shield, psychic currents of collective frustration, widespread fear, and despair can infiltrate, eroding inner peace and destabilizing mental health. Psychic integrity, the ability to maintain one's coherence and sanity in the face of the onslaught of external stimuli and emotions, has become the most precious jewel. Protecting yourself isn't about erecting walls, but about becoming transparent and porous to the light, while establishing firm boundaries against the dense darkness. It's about learning to discern your own energy from that of others, not absorbing the emotional burden of others, and detaching yourself from the collective drama that, like a dense fog, seeks to obscure the path. Protecting our energy isn't about isolating ourselves, but rather learning to discern which resonances uplift us and which drag us down. It's about recognizing that every interaction, every thought, every emotion is an energetic transaction. It's about cultivating an auric field so strong and clear that it automatically dissipates that which doesn't belong to it, not out of rejection, but out of pure vibrational incompatibility. This is achieved through conscious practices, deep grounding with the earth, deliberate breathing that purifies the breath, visualizing a protective light emanating from one's own heart, and cultivating detached compassion. The latter is key, feeling for others without allowing their pain to anchor in our own being. This process is fundamental to spiritual enlightenment in the current context, because without this foundation, the expansion of consciousness can lead to fragmentation rather than integration. Many who open themselves to these new energies without a solid foundation end up experiencing episodes of depersonalization, chronic fatigue, panic attacks, or a profound feeling of disorientation. Their longing for connection leaves them exposed, like unanchored ships in an ocean storm, vulnerable to any adverse current. The inner alchemy we speak of involves a profound work of self-observation and purification. It involves recognizing and healing one's own wounds, dissolving limiting thought patterns, and releasing repressed emotions that act as anchor points for unwanted energies. It is a process of distilling the self, eliminating impurities so that the spirit can shine unveiled. Only from this place of purity and inner strength can one interact with the world consciously, without being swept away by its currents. True protection lies in the transparency of one's being, in the absence of shadows that can be manipulated or exploited. When one is light, darkness has nowhere to nest. Coherence between thought, word, and action creates an impenetrable armor, for the truth of our being becomes our greatest defense. Unconditional self-love, gratitude, and genuine joy act as natural repellents of low vibrations, raising our own frequency until it becomes inaccessible to anything that does not resonate with fulfillment. Human evolution is not merely intellectual or technological. It is fundamentally an evolution of consciousness and energetic capacity. This planetary transformation demands a qualitative leap in our way of being and perceiving. The ancient masters always insisted on the primacy of the great work within, before venturing into the external realms of magic or mysticism. Today, this great work is a vital necessity for the survival and flourishing of humanity. Those who ignore this call to energetic self-management will find themselves increasingly overwhelmed by the chaos of the outside world, while those who embrace it will become beacons of light and stability in a sea of change. The madness of the world, the incessant noise of distorted information, sensory overload, all of these conspire against our peace of mind, but only if we allow it to penetrate our inner sanctum without resistance. Maintaining sanity in these times is an act of spiritual rebellion, a testament to our ability to choose our own resonance. This elevation of collective consciousness brings not only challenges, but also unprecedented opportunities for the co-creation of a more harmonious reality. The cosmic energy that floods us is a creative force, and if we learn to channel it with intention and purity, we can manifest an existence in line with the highest ideals. The hidden mysteries of our own divinity are revealed as we protect and purify ourselves, allowing for a more direct connection with the source of all life. Spiritual enlightenment is no longer a privilege of the few, but a possibility available to all those willing to undertake this inner journey of inner alchemy. But how does this alchemy manifest in the very fabric of our daily existence? Beyond mere protection, how does this ability to maintain our sanity and energetic purity translate into the active construction of a future that resonates with this new planetary frequency? The answer lies in understanding an even deeper truth, one that intertwines individual destiny with the destiny of the cosmos. The one that reveals to us that we are not mere spectators, but active co-creators in this great cosmic dance, carrying the flame of consciousness toward its next glorious phase. Now that the flame of consciousness burns more intensely, and we have understood our role as co-creators in this great cosmic dance, immersed in ancestral wisdom and cosmic energy, I ask you, what new hidden mysteries are you willing to uncover on your path to spiritual enlightenment? Share your profound reflections. And don't forget to subscribe so we can continue this inner alchemy of knowledge together. See you at the next revelation.